Hi everyone, it's Sarah. Welcome to my channel. So today we're going to make a crate gift box, but I just wanted to quickly go through what you get in July's Club Dies. So I think most of you have seen these already. So these are the small dies of the month, the large die of the month, which we're going to use today as well. You've got the 3D embossing folder. You've got a 2D embossing folder. You've got the stitching die. You've got the glimmer. You've got two stencils, so you've got the heart, and then you've got like a multi-layered snowflake design, and then you've got some stamps and some coordinating dies for those. So I'm just going to move this out of the way and then we'll get started. Okay, so let's make the tiers of the crate. I've made one already, and then we'll go through the measurements. So what you need is two pieces that are 4 inches by 7, and I've cut it just under the 4, and I'll show you why in a second. So the first score is at 1/2 inch on the short side. Then we score at 1 3/4, 2 1/4, and 3 1/2. Okay, so you do that on 2 pieces, and then for the outside and sides, you need 2 pieces that are 5 by, again, just under the 4. So on the 4 inch side, we do the same measurements: 1/2 inch, 1 3/4. 2 1/4, 3 1/2, and then flip it round. And what we're going to do, we're going to score down to just this score line. So 1/2 inch past the first one and stop at the second. Flip it over and do exactly the same on that side. So you need 2 pieces, the same with that. And then for the struts inside, you need 4 pieces that are 1 1/2 by 2 3/4. So you're going to score at 3/4. Let's just do the last one. So you've got 4 of those, and then you need 4 pieces that are 1 inch by 1 1/4. On the inch side, score at 1/2 inch. So you need to fold and burnish on all of those, and that's all our scoring done. So this is to make 1 tier. So if you want another tier on top, you need to do all that over again. Right, so let's fold and burnish. Do that score lines. Okay. Now, so the reason I did it, you'll notice it when you go to fold this down. If you cut it just under 4, you'll be able to get that across quite easily. I need to try that side. One side will lay better than the other, so that's that side. Okay, so glue on the 1/2 inch tab. And put that to one side. Okay, same with this other piece. Now we'll fold and burnish these score lines, but then we need to cut a little bit off. Right, so the extra score lines that we put down to this second score line, so that's your first one, there's your second one. So what you want to do is I cut this side of the score line, so you're cutting away the score line. Go to the second score line, and then what you want to do is cut it to the corner, so you get that. It's easier on the, or if you want to turn it over and do it on the back. And there. There. Okay, and then again fold that down, glue on this little 1/2 inch tab. Okay, and you get that. Now, if you was building a shadow box, like, you would leave that, but because we're building a crate and you're going to see these, I'm going to just cut these corners off, so you end up with that. Okay, and the same on that one. Exactly the same on the other 5 inch piece. Don't need the struts yet. So these pieces that are 1 1/4 by 1, what we're going to do, we're going to glue these into this end piece like that. Okay. Try and keep it straight. Doing that on both the short sides. You end up with that twice. So what we're going to do, we're going to glue these together basically. So I would keep your seams all on one side, so whether it be on that side or if you want to do it on the inside, entirely up to you. But what you need to do is glue on the outside of that tab that we've just stuck on, and then inside you glue on the inside triangles. Put that in, give it a little wiggle, and it gives us a perfect corner. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same with this end. So I'm going to glue on the outside of the tab, move that out of the way, glue on the little triangles inside. And the tabs on the outside, let's put that in, give it a little wiggle, get it into position, and then give it a push. Okay, then grab this piece, and then what we're going to do, we're going to glue both ends together. Put it on the tab, and the 2 triangles, and over. Triangles. So put 1 tab in, across, put that one in there. So by adding those extra little tabs on the inside, it strengthens it up, and it also it hides any gaps that you might have. Okay, so that is 1 tier of our, so that's our second one, so they're exactly the same. Right, then what you need is these pieces, which were 2 3/4 by 1 1/2, and we scored at 3/4. And basically what we're going to do, we're going to glue these into the corners. So what I do is roughly, you can see where you need to glue down to, because you don't want glue all across it, because obviously you've got a gap in the middle. And put it into the corner, come down, not right to the bottom, but pretty close. Just make sure that they're level on all sides. So if you're going completely down to the bottom, then make sure that they're all exactly the same. So again, glue. So again, 3/4 of an inch out, don't go too far. I'm going to glue all 4 corners. Little crate. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, make sure that it's all stuck before you start throwing it around. And then what I'm going to do is glue the base on. So I'm going to use my Kalau glue so it makes it a little bit stronger. Glue that on. So this bottom piece was cut just under the 5x7, and that's the finished side of the box. Okay, and let that set. So next I'm going to cut these down. Okay, so I've cut 4 strips which are 1 inch by 6 3/4, and we're going to glue these on here just to give it a bit more strength. So again, I'm going to use my Kalau glue. You need 4 pieces that are 4 3/4 by 1 inch. And this going to go on there. Okay, so that's our finished crate, and obviously we've used the large die of the month on there. So then what I've made to go in it, so we've got this large chocolate bar. I'll link a description below for the chocolate bar cover. My grandson's called Ruben, so I've put little R's on the chocolate, and then obviously the little Santa, but it does open here at the top, and then we've got about a big bar of chocolate in there. So that's going to go at the back. Then I've used the Spellbinders ribbon box, which was out last year. Just put it on a little peg, hot glued that on, and I've used one of the stencils and obviously the stamps, so that can go in there like so. And then for this one, I just got a cup from the supermarket, and then I've got 3 test tubes with sprinkles, hot chocolate and marshmallows, some fake snow, That can go in there. And then I've used the caboodle to create the little drink straw, and then I'll just put an extra piece over the back to keep that in place. And then the stirrer just on the sentiment just stuck onto a plastic stirrer. So that's the little gift basket, if you like, a little crate. So that's those. And then I'll just run through some of the other things that I've made. So again, large die of the month, nice little dangle, and then on the inside I've used the reverse of the glimmer, so the pink foil, which is this one. That's really nice pink foil. And then all I've done is again some hot chocolate, some sprinkles, and some marshmallow and ribbon, and I thought that makes quite a nice little gift. So that's that die, and I have got a tutorial for that on my channel, so if you want to make that, if you've seen this card, there is a tutorial on my channel for this one as well. So that's a small die of the month. And then we've got this one with the glimmer in the background. And then we got this one using the large die of the month. This one with the stitching, and then I just added some beads. That nice little shaped card that stands up quite nicely. Again, the large die of the month, and I've just used the opaque white foil on that one. And the last one is the little gingerbread man, and that's the stencil that I've used in the background. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.